What up, everybody? How y'all doing today? Welcome back to the Good Neighbors Show. We are your co-hosts. I am Drama City Dreo.
And I am Lamont. And remember, when you're coming into the neighborhood, you can always be you with us.
So, the question I want to ask today is, there are things that I wish I can change, but I can't. And if you anything like me, or if you are, you probably had some moments where you played the what if game in life.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've actually have done that. Have you done that before?
I've done it a lot of times, that what if game.
Yeah, same here.
Absolutely.
If you're comfortable, I don't know if you're comfortable discussing yours, but one of my what ifs in life was in relationships. What if I would have left a little bit sooner? Another one was, what if I would have stayed and worked things out? And also, another situation was with education. What if I would have stayed in school and focused instead of worrying about trying to be the biggest dope dealer in the world?
That's that.
No, seriously.
That's real talk. That's real
Seriously.
talk. Especially when you look at a lot of dudes that dealt in that lane of thought process,
Mm-hmm.
and then you hear the stories about what they did and how much they accumulated, and then you go back and some of the videos, because I used to watch a lot of those DVDs of those dudes and everything, and someone would go back to the teachers, and the teachers would say things like, this person had this kind of mindset, he could have went and did this, kind of went that way, and it showed how your mindset, when you're focused on something, how much, and you really dig into it,
Mm-hmm.
how much you're willing to go into it, you
Yeah.
know. So I understand it.
So me moving forward, some of these things I dwelled on for 15 years, 10 years, 20 years. My dad, I wish I can change the mindset I had about my dad a lot sooner, because I dwelled so much into the what if my dad was around, what if my dad came around, what if he would have gave it a shot, not understanding. I'm happy I actually had a dad to be around for a short period of time, just redirecting my energy and my mindset. I just, we don't talk about that a lot. And those are some of the things that, a lot of the choices and things in my life, I now realize I can't change and I can't control. And I do wish I can, I did wish I can, but now there's this level of acceptance of there's some things I cannot control.
There are things that you can't control that are above your pay grade, above your way of thinking. And when you learn those things, you may not get it at that moment, but as you grow and you start to progress, you start to see the things that you can change. Mm-hmm. Especially when you're young. You want to change things, but you don't have too much of a say, because we come from an era where it was more of a thing like stay in a child's place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I got this going, I can do this. Nah. But then you have some people that pushed you and motivated you and cultured you,
mm-hmm.
and curated you.
Correct.
To be where you are. But for a lot of people, they didn't have that.
No, they didn't. And I was one of those people, and I was trying to push myself, and that's where I found today you need community and you need mentorship. Mm-hmm. I learned, and I had it, and I didn't know how to communicate. You know what I mean?
I understand.
So there's hell, even that's another topic of, but that's for another day to discuss. But what I will encourage is with the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and I've been there. We just mentioned some of this today. Mm-hmm. One of the solutions that I suggest is focusing on the solution and not always the problem. Mm-hmm. Let's focus on my dad wasn't there, or I didn't leave that relationship alone, sooner than later, and I'm stuck with, whatever the case may be. Just say, at least I'm still alive. Hey, at least I didn't get married and had to go through the divorce and the children making and stuff like that. Or with the father, just say, hey, I'm thankful that I even knew how it felt to have a dad around. Some people didn't. You know what I'm saying? So if we just understand mind shift and and encourage people to just understand that you're not alone also.
You're not alone.
So those is three things. I said one, but I gave you three.
Okay, we gave you three.
So
definitely gave three. And a lot of things that we wish we could change that we couldn't change. Maybe some things that if you know my mindset and my thought process, maybe there are things that you weren't meant to change. Because maybe there were some things that needed to help you curate and create the person that you are today. For me as an example, and I'm going to use me as an example.
Hold on, y'all. Round of applause. I am so happy this man opened up today. And I'll go ahead. I thank you, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, because I think as the more and more we start to do our show, and the more that we can't continue to call ourselves good neighbors and not be able to go outside our own house.
I thank you, and I apologize for cutting you off.
No, you good. You good.
Let's get this work.
Let's get it. Yeah, absolutely.
I want to hear this.
Absolutely. Like I just said, we can't continue to call ourselves good neighbors and not leave out our house. We can't not be able to commute with other people and talk with them and understand how they work to make what we call in our good neighbor community. This is what we are. We're a community. And that's why I say in the beginning, when you come into the community, you can always be you with us. And when I say that, to say is you can be you, but when it comes to the community, we're looking at the community and building the community. So as I was saying, I never, and I'll be honest with you, I never was a street guy. I never was a super tough dude. I knew a bunch of tough dudes. I had family members that was tough dudes, but it wasn't me. After I left and I joined the military and I started to hang around tough dudes and I decided to try to become my own person, some of those aspects of the people that I hung out with came into me. Not saying that you don't have to be tough, but it's a difference between being tough and being a bully. It's a difference. Or being strong and being a bully. So there's two different things in those aspects that kind of create you for who you are. And then when you leave and you become those people and you come back home to wherever you may be, they see it. Some people see a change in you. And it's not a change in the sense of, oh, you think you better or you brand new. It's just that it's just that certain things that put you in a position that had to make you become who you are at that moment. So there were things that I couldn't change. I knew dudes that was out there doing a lot of wild, crazy stuff, catching bodies, selling dope, wild dudes and everything. When I tried to acclimate that kind of stuff into me, the dudes that actually cared would say things like, "Nah, dude, go chill. That's not you. There's something more in you. There's something more about you than this, because we know the outcome of this. We do this. You want to emulate this. Don't do this, because technically we know where we're going to go with this. But if we see something within you, we don't want you to be a part of this, because it's up to you to be better than what we are." I said this a while ago. If your big homie is still doing the same things that he's doing when you first seen him, he is no longer your big homie. He's just an older version of who you don't want to be.
Key point.
So you have to be that term big homie and big bro and all that stuff. You have to be very careful and selective with those titles.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So there are things that you might want to have delved in it, but imagine if you try to delve into that stuff and you're not built for that stuff. You're going down a whole crazy path that you're not prepared for. So there are things that you
results you gonna pray you wish you
and you pray you would
change.
And you know what I'm saying. And sometimes
believe
big,
you, man.
And sometimes big guns upstairs know that, and he'll be like, "You supposed what we say? Hey man, don't go right, go left." Why am I going left? Go left, and you make that left, and all your homeboys that went right, you like this. Now they're looking at you, and when they see you, they like, because for some of your homeboys, they know who you are.
Yep.
And they'll see you and know what they'll say? "Man, I'm glad you ain't go that way, man, because, man," and they'll tell you, "I'm glad you ain't do that, man, because it got real out there, man. And because we kind of knew you wasn't built for that, but we knew you wanted to be around, We glad you didn't go through that. And for some dudes, they go left and become better and do this, that, and the third. And because my homeboys that I knew are like that, but still I knew they had potential. That's kind of like why I hung out with them. Now, we bring them into your fold. Those dudes are the ones that's hanging with you. Those are your close, tight friends. Those are the ones that you put in your circle that, I don't want to say it like it's like some type of business aspect, but everything in life is a business. Those are the dudes that become your security. Those are the dudes that become your financial supervisors. Those are some of the dudes that become, because you know how they move. Man, my dude was moving all kinds of stuff. He good with numbers. Let me put him in a position of good with numbers. My man right here knew everybody. He know everybody. Why won't I get him to go out there and promote me like how they used to promote cats with flyers? Because guess what? He knows how to talk to people. Mm-hmm. He knows how to converse with people. Mm-hmm. We see this in everything with politicians, between mobsters, and all that stuff. I don't send my biggest goon to go talk to a politician. I send my sharp-tongued dude to go out there and talk to a politician. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't send my goon to. I don't send my sharp-tongued dude to go talk to a bully. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Yep. So it's things that come in this lifestyle of
and decision making.
And
what he's talking about that I hear are results that a lot of us want, and some of these results don't come with shoulda, coulda, woulda. Mm-hmm. So change your mind frame. You do not have to fix everything, and you don't have to carry.
You don't have to carry.
Listen to me closely, especially the people that love their family dearly and want to make sure that their family is straight. And I do too. And I know from firsthand, you do not have to fix everything, and you do not have to carry everything. Mm-hmm. You do not. You do not have to carry that. And because it's going to leave you with regrets, it's going to leave you with anger, things that you wish you would have changed, especially because when you get to those states in mind, you're going to say some stuff that you will regret later on in life that you wish you never would have said, especially when it comes to family and friends mm-hmm. and women. So just, I'm telling you, don't try and fix everything, please. And with that being said, we are out of here. We thank everybody that came in. And if this hit home, share this with everybody. Share this with your friends, your family members. Hit the like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you anywhere else on any of the other platforms, please hit any sort of comments. And please just share this with your family and friends again. You are not alone.
You are not alone.
We are all work in progresses. But let's just do it with a form of respect and understanding.
We appreciate you all. Thank you, neighbors. We'll see you next time.